League knockout finals. We are down to our final match of the night. It is Markshire against Nickolias in the NA final. Two players who have done exceptionally well throughout the league. Markshire ending on a very impressive 8-2 result at the end of the Swiss portion, and Nickolias ending on a 7-3, so both of them doing very well. The decks that we have from both these players, from Markshire we have Q-Block, Control Priest, Token Druid and Quest Warrior. He had his Q-Block banned. Nickolias we have Quest Warrior, Even Shaman, Token, and Recruit Hunter with his Quest Warrior band. Once again, I am joined by my Listener League co-caster, Orion, or rather Sally.
Hey guys, how we doing?
And also over from the US, coming in over Discord, we have Wicked Good.
Hey, and we should let you make sure to introduce you too, mid-game, because you're the brains behind this whole tournament and the reason that this thing is happening. So you should at least get to say your name on stream after all the work that you've done over the course of the Listener League. Like I wasn't participating obviously, but I've seen all those messages in the Discord and all of the legwork that you've done, and I've had a hard enough time just coordinating casters for UHL. I can only imagine what it's been like to run this tournament for the past several weeks. So, kudos to you for pulling this off too.
Cheers, man. They have queued in. If you want to jump into the spectate.
Yep.
It is the Recruit Hunter up against the Control or Mind Blast Priest.
Okay. I'm getting us into game right now, and I will switch us over as soon as we are in.
But yeah, as I forgot to say before, I'm mid game. I kind of like admin the Listener Leagues for when you can see. Yeah, that's me.
Okay,
all right, so
we
do have
there,
Nickolias.
And
we have the Prince Keliseth, which is pretty good.
Yeah. You've got a Stitch
good
Tracker.
opening for Nickolias.
Yeah, you do have a Witchwood Grizzly, which I don't think you're too upset about. And this hand from Markshire, he's running a Squashling, which is interesting.
Yeah, Markshire looks like he's running a non-conventional Control Priest list. Some notable absences is that there is no Velarin in the list. We've also got the setup of what looks like a Master Spell, the Alex Straza, as you can see, the Squashlings in hand. So really just looking to kind of take control of the board, sort of, win with some old-fashioned finishes rather than try to set up any sort of combo.
I am a big fan of the Squashling.
Yeah, I like it too.
I think it does a lot for the deck, and I know this was pre-nerf, but I think this deck stood largely untouched. Ridiculous Hat was raving about it for a while.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit weaker in the meta in general because there are a lot more decks that armor up, but going into this knowing what Nickolias has, Token Druid can get a lot of armor, but against the Recruit Hunter and the Even Shaman, you pretty much have clear sailing.
Yeah, there's very, very little armor gain with either of those decks. This Control Priest seems like it should have a fairly easy run against them. Obviously, banning out the Quest Warrior, which would once again ban out probably the worst matchup for this Control Priest.
Yeah, by a country mile. Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
So looks like we're gonna trade off the Keliseth and heal up that Wild Pyro, which I don't know if Nickolias is super worried about that yet.
I wouldn't say so. I think he would be more worried about it if there was the North Star Cleric in hand.
Yeah.
Because that is a card drawing mechanic if I've ever seen one. Mixed between a card which damages itself and then one which draws when you heal.
Yeah, we do see the Divine Hymn Northshire Cleric combo in Markshire's hand right now.
Yeah, so he can either basically assemble himself an Arcane Insignia or potentially run the Pyromancer into the Dark Reaper and then Dustbreaker to finish it off.
Yeah. He can just drop a Cleric and heal it and then trade it in.
Dustbreaker doesn't have, crazy potential in this matchup.
No.
There's not too many small minions in this deck. That's kind of the whole idea of it. It's just a lot of big dudes.
Yeah, I actually
Living Oozling is a huge pickup there.
Yeah.
Especially with the play dead already in hand.
Yes, absolutely. I would expect to see this Ditch Trapper.
Yeah, just roll again.
Tracker technically.
Yeah.
Obviously, though, with the Silver Vanguard in hand, Nickolias is in danger of just drawing the Katharina and turning that Oozling off.
Yeah.
Which would be not ideal, to say the least.
Yeah.
As we saw in the semis, we're likely to see probably just like a coin Oozling on the next turn and stuff.
He runs. Markshire runs what? One Master Spell, and that's it for silences. Does he even run Scream?
Yes.
He probably runs Scream, but you don't care.
He does
about
run. He does run 2 copies of Psychic Scream.
Yeah. Psychic Scream at this point isn't even all that bad.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
And it's not coming online for a while anyway. If you coin it out.
You can see that he does run the Holy Fire, so he has got that kind of additional burst to kind of improve the matchup against those decks that have a little bit more staying power, I guess. A little bit more heal, a little bit more armor.
Yeah, and it looks like
this
is the more controlling version that has Twilight Acolyte. Does it run Cabal Shadow Priest as well?
Right, you have the
I've got the list up here. Yeah, it does run 1 copy of Cabal Shadow.
Okay, so that could be relevant in this matchup. And I would imagine that that's probably what Markshire is digging for right now.
Yeah. Yes, I'd say that's quite likely. That it is quite possible that we see something like a Shadow Visions here searching for a Master Spell.
Yeah.
But that would... how can I see how many cards he has?
You could also look for a Psychic Scream for next turn and just
absolutely.
deal with. You just go face and deal with whatever comes. I mean, he can't even really trade this Oozling off right now. Play dead, and we can see it is in the hand, but that's not always there.
Twilight Drake seems like a pretty reasonable option, though. That's a pretty big boy coming out as well. And we can see from the cards drawn that the options for usually to recruit out are Crush. We've also got the double 7/7 with charge, obviously with the Nickolias an 8/8, and then we have the 1 which will Grizzly as well.
The others
pretty disgusting.
Yeah. I do like healing the minion before playing the Twilight Drake just to make sure to max out on the health. I'm
a big fan of that. I would be very shocked to see Deathstalker here.
Looks like he's thinking about it.
It's not bad.
He wants to get rid of that cleric, right? And he
wants to get rid of that cleric, but that also enables him to actually. Oh no, because it only needs damage equals to his own minions, to the opponent's minions. Trying to set up the trade-off of the Oozling in the next couple of turns to get the trigger happening.
Yeah. Killing off the Wildfire is probably not a bad thing either.
Yeah. And your hero power is not. I mean, the steady shot hero power is not relevant to this matchup at all. When the priest could just heal.
True, and builder base can be just stupid sometimes.
Yeah.
Stone Tusk Ball, Fluffy Bird, for example.
Yeah. I mean, I might have liked to see the play dead there, but I think that board was starting to get a little bit out of hand too.
Yeah.
So maybe that was on his mind. I don't think it's terrible. You got to get Rexar down at some point.
So Shadow Vision's picking up a Psychic Scream there. This is definitely going to be a key card to try to mitigate some of the craziness potential from the Recruit Hunter.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
I don't know how much I like that.
I don't like it at all.
I'd probably rather trade it off and then do that to whatever comes out of it.
Yeah. I very much agree with that.
That's a Katharina, right? So, I mean,
yes.
Unless it's a Grizzly, in which case you don't care. But if that's
a
King Crush, I would rather trade that off and then just neutralize the King Crush. Okay, well, it is a Grizzly coming out anyway, so...
Yeah, so gets a little bit lucky there, but he is going to have the option to use and then play dead it, so
it'll be another one coming out, 50-50 between Devilsaur and Crush.
Which is, I mean, that's basically...
really matters.
That's the best coin flip you could have.
Yeah. With the Kalisteth buff, obviously, the Devilsaur 8 and Crush is 9/9, so, I mean, not a huge difference there. When you're recruiting them out, Devilsaur doesn't get the battle cry, so it can just attack base. I'm not sure whether it necessarily would here, but it has.
Yeah, and I would love to see this Oozling and the Play Dead come out, because if they Psychic Scream, you just slam a Silver Vanguard right after.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is nice. I'm a big fan.
And he's got to hurry up because he's running out of time.
Yeah.
Ego's face.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think you have an awareness from Nickolias' perspective that you basically demand the Psychic Scream here. So
Yeah.
if the minions are getting taken off the board anyway, you might as well start marking that damage.
Yeah, I mean, even if he Anduins, right, which is the other way you answer this board, he loses his 6/4, and then you still get a minion out of the deal. So
Well, you get King Crush.
You get King Crush 100%. So this is fine. Like, Anduin is not a problem here if he Anduins. That's the only other way that you could address this board.
Yes.
But the Psychic Scream is... I would imagine.
He has drawn both Mind Blasts, so his ability to burst is limited compared to what the deck can usually.
Well, you know what though? He has a 2-turn lethal right now. He's got the 1 armor is kind of a problem.
He's got the 1 point of armor.
He's got the
1 point of armor is protecting him.
But he's 1 point away from lethal over the next 2 turns with Alex into Holy Fire, Mind Blast.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And I mean, there's not much in Nickolias' deck that can deal with an Alexstrasza. So there's a possibility that you just get the swing from that. Obviously, you have the taunts and things like Witchwood Grizzlies and Chain Gangs and stuff, but there's nothing that would actually kill it apart from just charging a Devil Saw straight into it.
Yeah, and it looks like he's going to play this Devil Saw out, maybe? You do have a...
I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, you have the beasts you can get out of... Well, you can still get King Crush again out of the Katharina if you get that out of the Vanguard. You can still get a Lich King.
So the Vanguard either gets Lich King or Katharina.
Yeah.
Both of which are fine.
Yeah. I mean, even if he plays this Devil Sword, I think he's still Alex face.
Yeah, I agree. I think
I don't think there's going to be a better opportunity.
You're not dying this turn.
Correct, yeah.
And you do have emergency heal in your hand.
Yeah,
if you need it. So
yeah, I love this. And now you just need to connect 1 damage to face and you win.
Yeah.
Flanking Strike will answer that Alex, or he can just trade it.
Or just Devil Saw, yeah.
He can Flanking Strike Saronite to just kind of build a bit of a bigger board.
Yeah.
Not be quite as... Although there is nothing in Markshire's deck that charges, so it's not particularly relevant.
Yeah.
It is possible that he might want to go for like a Build-A-Beast and get some lifesteals so that he can heal out of that. Because as I mentioned before, there's a lot of beasts now with lifesteal.
Yeah. I would be thinking about that right now because you see that Alex come down in the face of the 7/7. That's terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, so you can see respecting the lethal setup.
Yeah, so we're boxing out this Alex, but the Alex is not really... can he string together?
I mean, you can put him to 1.
Yeah, it's incredible how 1 point of armor.
Yeah. Like this...
Like we're saying at the beginning of this game, is that this Control Priest matchup is good against as long as your opponent doesn't get armor. Set up the Alex lethal. Just a single point of armor off the Death Knight.
Yeah.
Undoing all the good work.
It's amazing how he's hanging on, and he doesn't know... I mean, he has to suspect, but he doesn't know that he's hanging on by that 1 point of armor that's keeping him alive right now.
Or close to, right?
Yeah.
That's fairly understandable.
I mean, I believe both players have access to each other's deck lists, right? So
yes.
As a savvy player, you probably would look over and recognize what an Alex represents.
I don't hate this at all.
I like this a lot.
Yeah, I think that it just gives you so much opportunity to play now. Yeah. This has got to be Build-A-Beast. I mean, if he doesn't, he just loses, right?
Yeah, I think you have to.
There's no cards in his hand or in his deck that actually heal him, and
he's actually
15 burst.
I didn't even catch that Mark had 2 Holy Fires in hand.
Yeah. So he's got the lethal setup now.
Yeah, so he needs lifesteal and rush like ASAP.
Yeah.
And he does not.
Yeah,
and he doesn't get it.
Yeah.
That's just game right there.
Yeah.
So what that puts us to 1-0 to Markshire.
Yeah.
With a win with his control priest, which we, to be honest, at the start we said that there's a good chance that he just does find a win because none of the decks are particularly bad against it.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the motions here because Nickolias doesn't know what's coming, but and having seen the first Holy Fire, you might not suspect it.
Yeah.
He's going to clear off this board just to try to make himself as safe as possible, assuming that both Mind Blasts are in hand, but he's going to see the other Holy Fire come down. And that's going to be the end of that.
And that's going to be game.
Yeah.
Yep.
There we go.
There you go.
As we expected. Game done. So now Markshire has his Token Druid and his Quest Warrior left. Nickolias still access to all three of his deck list with Even Shaman, Token Druid, and Recruit Hunter. I imagine that if he's queuing up Recruit Hunter into that he probably just pops it again.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's your best deck, really. I mean, that's your deck that can just kind of grab a win regardless if it goes off and it has the right draw. So I think you probably.
I mean, same with Token Druid, right?
Yeah. Though Token Druid, what I've seen at least from DreamHack is that Token Druid seem to be the kind of the deck that a lot. I mean, again, that's Last Hero Standing, not Conquest, but it might be the kind of thing that you may not want to queue that into the Quest Warrior. You probably want to get rid of the Quest, or you don't want you really don't want to queue that into the Quest Warrior. So
I think that it is notable though that both players in the final both brought Quest Warrior, both brought Token Druid.
Yeah.
Of course, you've got some differences there, but I think that's somewhat significant because when you actually look at what everyone brought to this, Quest Warrior was the most common single deck.
Yeah.
Warrior wasn't the most common class, Druid was. But then after that, the second most common deck was Token Druid. They were just people are obviously rating those two decks, but as you said, between the two of them, the Token Druid definitely has the worst matchup there.
Yeah. I mean, I think you bring Quest Warrior because Token Druid is so prevalent.
Yeah.
It just has enough tools to get through those wide boards with low health.
It's a lot of whirlwinds.
A lot of whirlwinds, a lot of AoE damage in that deck.
Yeah, and Warpath especially being, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the only card in the game that really effectively deals with the list plus soul or a setup. Like no other single card actually allows you to
Godfrey and
Godfrey
and Defire.
Yeah,
that's true.
Defile, you have to kill one of them off in order to start that before you.
Or have a 2 health minion.
Right.
Godfrey
will deal with that board by itself, though. Yeah.
Yes,
but Godfrey deals with everything by itself, so it's
Yeah, I mean Twisting Nether, even Twisting Nether doesn't. So
exactly. Yeah, that's the point, right? So Godfrey and Warpath really, and of course Warpath being a card that you can run two of, meaning that you've got that much better chance of being able to survive the lethal setup.
And you have ways to do AoE damage without using a card between Garrosh and Bloodrazor, and you have a lot of different ways to be able to affect the board. So yeah, I would not blame Nickolias for going back to this. This is not a terrible matchup. It's not your favorite matchup with the Recruit Hunter because again, taunts are a problem, but you can sometimes get in ahead of them if you get the right draw. But right now, does not have the Oozlings, does have the Kaliseth, that will help. And he doesn't have
Kaliseth and two. Yeah.
I like this hand. I think that because he felt the first initial queue was best to be Recruit Hunter, I feel like the Control Piece was one of the worst matchups that he could have brought it into, so I feel like it just makes sense to re-queue.
Yeah, I mean, it can just go off, and I think that it's fair to bring it against any of these decks to start with.
Yes,
Stage Tracker here makes a lot of sense. You can find that ooze. Unfortunately, doesn't.
Yeah, these are not
pretty bad.
I mean, the Lone Champion might be okay. Even later, maybe you just hold that in case you get once they get the hero power, because
he does have 2 in his deck though.
Yeah.
So the chances are that he'll draw another one, and having 3 maybe a little bit overboard.
Yeah, Markshire is going to get at least 2 draws off of this Acolyte.
Yeah,
which is going to feel pretty good about.
Yeah, and that
also hampers the effectiveness of those Witch Grizzlies in Nickolias' hand.
Yeah, and gets the Tar Creeper to start ticking off the quest, and that's 1 out of 7 done. There's Catherine.
Oh, that feels bad.
That's not the worst. I mean, you do want to get those off
Yeah.
the Oozlings, but you would much rather see Katharina come into your hand than see a charged Devil Sword.
King Crush.
This is very true.
Yeah, I mean,
I think there's a good chance we'll see an early Rexar again as well.
I think you absolutely do. I mean, I think it's one way that you can outvalue the Quest Warrior in this matchup is just by building a lot of beast value. I mean, sometimes you can get something with Echo, especially for late game. You can get a lot of Lifesteal Rush. You can get Poisonous.
Yeah, the Mastiff is a huge,
huge addition to the arsenal.
Yeah.
But then also things like the 5-mana 1/3 Rush with Poisonous. You put that with a Cave Hydra, and boy, does that feel good.
Or one thing that I love with this deck is getting that on a Bloatbat with a Play Dead.
Yeah.
That's just straight up board clear right there. And then something that has to be dealt with before they put anything else on the board. So, looking at this Witchwood Grizzly, it's probably not going to get better, I would imagine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Especially with that Acolyte in play. Like, you can imagine Warrior filling up their hand very quickly after that. So, yeah, I like running out.
And just trade off the 2 attack minions, put the taunt in the way so it has to trade through it, at least for right now.
Yeah, if Markshire wants to get some value out of this, he's going to start needing to expend some Whirlwind effects. Otherwise, pretty much all you want to do for an Acolyte is just kill it with one, just give him a 1-for-1 and move on with your life.
Good couple of turns here coming as well. The ability of Deathstalker Rexar next turn. Turn off that, you've got Coin Katharina. If you don't want a Rexar here, you can do that feels bad.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah. And you don't want to play Rexar into this board because you give him an extra draw off of the Acolyte.
Exactly. And as we were saying before, like pretty happy with playing a 3/6, probably happy with playing a 3/7 as well. Yeah, that 2/3 down as well, that Chaos buff actually fairly relevant. We do know now that Katharina, the only beasts in the deck are 1 Grizzly, because 1 was taken off Stitch Tracker, and 2 of the Charged Devil Swords.
Yeah.
There's only 3 recruits now. It's fine, but you probably prefer to have a little bit more safety in there because you do have the Play Dead. Yeah. So Katharina does 2, Play Dead does 1. If you do 1, you're already losing out.
And I mean, if you're gonna summon one of the dinosaurs, if you're gonna draw one of the dinosaurs, you'd actually rather it be King Crush because King Crush.
Yes, because you can just send it. Yeah, I would expect to see a Coin Katharina here.
Yeah, I think you want to get her out ASAP and just start getting some of these dinosaurs going face.
Yeah,
and that's
because you can, and because we're going into turn 8 next turn.
Yeah.
If we really want to, we can Rexar, then build it straight away, which is fine.
Yeah.
But I would imagine that we'll probably see the Play Dead and something else come out.
Yeah.
So that you don't draw those Devil Souls because you just really don't want them in your hand.
Yeah, and you know that Markshire's not going to want to brawl this board because it just makes the board worse for him.
Yes.
You know, at minimum, the best case scenario, he's just got a 7/7 staring him at the other side of the board. At worst, he's got...
Well, Keloseth, so 8/8.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Katharina.
Oh, yeah. Katharina's surviving,
Yeah. Okay. Whirlwind and Execute will deal with the 4/12.
Then pops the Saronite.
Yep. Start taking the quest and making Nickolias clear through that. There's a second Play Dead.
But there's only
the 2 Charged Devil Souls.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
So he can pull both of them out.
I think you want to do that.
Yeah, that seems because he can
double Play Dead flanking.
Yeah, double Play Dead flanking strike plus the Katharina and the Witchwood punching into the other chain gangs means that you can clear the way for 16 to go face.
There's a possibility that's a little bit too much commitment though, because of things like roll, which you know in his deck. You know the things you have to worry about.
Yeah, I mean, even Brawl.
I wouldn't be surprised to see
something behind. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a nice middle of the road.
I like this a little bit better. This is like a middle road of that play. So you still get to mark the 8th face.
Yep.
But you keep the Katharina in play so that a brawl or another clear means that you end up with a Charged Devil Sword.
And as you were noting, there's some good Death Rattle beasts in the pool of beasts that you get from your hero power. So it's not too bad to have that Play Dead. I'm sure something will come up. Yeah. Worst case scenario, it's just a dead card.
This Phantom Militia is really good though. That is an
surprisingly
amazing
good card in this deck. Hey,
that is just what the doctor ordered. So the quest is done. He's got 3 taunts in the way.
I think there's a good chance that Oozling comes down here.
Yeah.
You know you're going to get out Lich King. Oh no, because there's a Devil Soaring.
There's still a Devil Soar. I mean, you can fix that.
Yeah.
I mean, you could trade and Flanking Strike the Katharina yourself too after the trade if you really wanted to. I don't know that's. I mean, that's probably getting a little too fancy, but that's something you could do. Like, let's start with a beast. That's a good idea. Let's do that.
Yeah. Draw first. Always a good move.
None of these are really fantastic though.
No.
I don't know what he picked, but I think Conjurer is probably one of the better ones there. Maybe a Penguin coming down.
Yeah, so it looks like Scale Worm and Penguin, yeah.
Yeah.
4 mana 5/5 seems pretty decent.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any dragons in his deck.
So we are gonna play dead to get that other beast out. There's the other charged Devil Soar.
I wouldn't be shocked to see a Brawl come down.
Yeah, I think now
I think Brawl's very likely.
I mean, know that it's...
He knows at most there's one beast in the deck.
Yeah.
You've seen every single other one.
Well, I mean, even then, right? Like, you could Brawl Sulfuris and just take the 50-50 shot on it, too. Because you know that it's going to rush. Maybe it's going to survive it if it got buffed by the Kaliseth. Oh, I like this better.
This seems nice.
Much better.
And he finds out, actually, the way is clear.
Yeah.
And then has enough to get that rag shot down.
Ooh, this is kind of risky though. Nickolias could steal the game here.
Yeah. Yeah, if this misses.
Yeah, that's GG,
Oh wow.
And you can see that took about half a second for Nickolias to get that down. Yeah. It was absolutely the right play, but...
Yeah, I like that play, but it just...
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow, and we're 1-1.
Yeah.
Token Druid left for both players, Quest Warrior left for Markshire, even Shaman left for Nickolias. I think that I would expect the Quest Warrior to be queued again, and I would probably expect the even Shaman to come down on the other side. Because as we were noting...
Yeah, I would be shocked if anything that happens. Yeah.
That Token Druid Quest Warrior matchup is so bad, and Markshire just wants to hit that, obviously.
I mean, I guess there could be some gamesmanship on Markshire's part to say, well, he thinks I'm going to queue Quest Warrior, he's going to queue Even Shaman, maybe I queue Token Druid. I don't know what that matchup looks like.
Yeah. I mean, Token Druid is certainly better against, quite good against Even Shaman.
Yeah, and I mean, what's the worst thing that happens? You get stuck in the mirror? Like, I mean, that's going to happen probably, right? So maybe you do that. I don't know.
Well, potentially, clearly not.
But we're not going to go there. So we're going to get that matchup exactly.
Yeah.
Good hand from Nickolias.
That's real good. I mean, that's not bad.
Pretty good hand on the other side of the board as well. Yeah. Probably drop the Phantom Militia because you don't want it till later on.
Yeah.
But the rest of the hand seems pretty solid. The Blood Razor seems awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, it's Blood Razor is pretty good about clearing up wide boards with a lot of 1/1s. That's pretty good for that. And he's just going to hold the full hand. That's fine.
He's just going to keep,
Turned our curse into our strength.
I mean, realistically, he doesn't have to play that Phantom Militia until at least, Turn 5. Because he's probably going to go coin Blood Razor or coin Saronite into Blood Razor, whichever way. So he's probably not playing that until Turn 5, and then it's just one more turn before he gets 2 out of it, and 2 is enough. You want to get 3,
I agree.
You don't have to get 3 off of it. And this cornered
this is an interesting choice.
Is going to be great for later. Is not going to help him a lot right now.
Yeah. He does seem to be thinking about it, though, because there is the potential, if you're coining out blood on turn, if Nickolias tries to get greedy and keep those 1/1s on the board, but he is just going to go for the armor up here and pass it through. Seems like the more conservative line.
Yeah.
I think it's likely we see Coin Blood Razor here, then Cornered Sentry attack with the second half of the Blood Razor.
Yeah.
Turn after that. That seems really nice.
Yeah.
Following that up with a Hero Power.
That Taunt Totem is a nuisance, unfortunately, but...
Yeah.
I still would expect to see
I think
Blood Razor come down. You clear off 3 minions, and you set up for clearing up everything else with the backswing.
Yeah, and you do bring the odds of the healing totem coming down from a 50% to 33%.
Yeah. And if it doesn't, then it's pretty bananas for you.
Yeah, I mean, you do have the Whirlwind to follow it up too if you need to, or the Warpath. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know that you really want to use the Warpath this early, but you could.
Yeah.
And
I would
on
probably
4 mana,
expect to
you wanna do
see hero power come down because the healing totem seems so good.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Though
the
the
It's
chain
alright.
Heroes are follow-up, though. I think the Chain Gang...
Yeah. I mean, you do lose the totem and you lose the wolf, but you protect the
Primal
Fin.
Yeah.
The Whirlwind in hand could, have something to say about
Could,
that.
upset those plans. I kind of like playing Cornered Sentry here and then probably using some combination of Whirlwind.
I feel
If you're doing Whirlwind as well, you'd probably attack first,
Yeah.
then Cornered Sentry, then Whirlwind.
Yeah.
I don't know that you
just
do.
reset
I
that
feel
one.
like you probably want to save the Cornered Sentry for when you need to armor up with a Dry Whisker. There's no need to right now.
True, yeah, there's
And if you're
good
attacking
chance you just
first,
go
you're
for
clearing
like
3 minions off the
Step
board
back.
anyway.
Dark Creeper seems solid.
Yeah, a Tar Creeper's a better minion for what you're trying to do in that case.
I do think you want to get rid of this Primal Fin though. It's just getting too much value.
Yeah, well, looks like Markshire disagrees. Just gonna pull
Yeah.
it up.
Chain Gang's alright. It matches up really well with them.
Yeah.
The Earthen Mites might change that, but I don't
He's
think
got
so.
all kinds of options with 2 Earthen Mites and a Merkspark Eel in hand. He's got a lot of ways he can clear off this board.
I quite like this one. It deals very well with 2 Saranites here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where this Merkspark goes. I think it probably just goes space, right? I don't see much benefit to chuck. But I guess in this case, like it dies to something like a Whirlwind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Shield Block comes into hand for Markshire.
It is a little bit of an awkward turn here for Markshire. That is worth kind of noting.
I mean, he can just trade those chain gangs into each other, put down a Tar Creeper and armor up. I mean, I don't know that you necessarily do much more than that right now. I mean, you're only seeing 3 cards in hand from your opponent. One of them's been sitting there for a while, so it's probably an 8-drop. Oh, you could do this with the Whirlwind, get rid of the Primal Fin. That's fine too.
Gets rid of a lot of stuff on board. Man, you would have liked to have a Dry Whisker there as well.
Yeah, but I don't think you need it. Oh, Gangreaming. I mean, it's going to come down, but that's not what you want to see right now.
I mean, like, it's not the worst.
It's not the worst. It's still a 6/5, but you
Yeah.
probably would have liked something a little bit more, more impactful. And we're going to get 2 of these Phantom Militias down, which is, again, is perfectly reasonable value off of that. Like, you just want to make sure it's more than 1.
Yeah, for sure. And it means that with the Tar Creeper in hand, he can draw 1 more taunt off the top, and then he's got the ammo he needs to complete the quest.
I mean, Nickolias does, in terms of 6-drops, only has 2 Fire Elementals and Gen. Like, obviously the Fire Elemental would have been better, but not by that.
Yeah, it's
like,
he's still dropping a
that much.
6-drop on curve, and now he can do this Fire Plume Phoenix into Earthen Might and get reload for next turn if he decides he doesn't want. Actually, Fire Plume Phoenix into the Calamos seems like a solid plan.
Yeah, he seems to disagree.
Well,
He
wants to be
might
with that
still
tag
play the
man.
Fire
Yeah,
Plume,
he
but then
might
use
just-
that-
The
This
killing
actually-
of that rather
yeah.
than the actual draw.
This is probably better value than getting the free elemental for sure. And then you have Calamos to either clear board or just go face for 6, depending on whatever you want to do. I would imagine the
Yeah,
1/1s is not a great option for against this
Yeah.
deck.
There is a possibility as well that he chooses to like allocate this turn and then follow up with the Calamos.
Either
'cause
way.
it keeps that train
Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Alligator
it
is
gives you
still an
options going
elemental,
into
so he
the
could do
turn.
either way. It's going to depend on what the board state looks like, I think. And Markshire
Yeah.
has a lot of utility pieces. You might want to just shield block just to get something.
I think
better.
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could Warpath this turn and just clear this whole thing off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which isn't a. I mean, it leaves you with an empty board, but I mean,
Nice little glass.
You could also have
actually,
Haunted Sentry double buff.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it looks like
here
he's
you
just
go.
going for a single one.
Yeah, I like this. This is good. I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get the 1 draw, we take out the taunt totem, we put 2 taunts in the
And it
board.
also
Oh yeah, and that Calamos is already locked and loaded.
Wild.
Yeah.
Invocation of air.
Yeah,
Just
there was
shredding the board with that fire plume.
Yeah, there was no decision process needed for that.
This is a lot of pressure as well. 13 damage, that puts it on 6. You can heal for 7. The highest you can get to is 13. Taunts in the way help as well.
Yeah. I mean, without that taunt in the way,
great.
I mean that was one wolf or one flame tongue away from just lethal with the Alec.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you have one. You need one more mana for that, but
Yeah.
But we're.
I'm not sure what the option is here. I don't hate the Tar Lord.
Yeah.
I think with the Brawl in hand, the Cornered Sentry
is quite good.
reasonable.
Yeah.
I doubt it's Dread Corsair.
Yeah, I mean, you can make an argument for either of the other two. I mean, you can play the Dread Corsair for free with the Sulfurous. That's also something to think about. Yeah, that looks like that's the one.
And that might be,
And we are finishing the quest right now, so
Yeah.
that comes down for free next turn with the
It is
Sulfurous.
relevant.
Yeah,
He's on 11 health though, so there is somewhat limited healing ability now.
Well, he does have the shield block in hand. He still has both Drywask Armors and another shield block in the deck.
And he is starting to just shred through everything that comes onto the board.
And
with
I mean, this
massive rag shots popping out.
And even Shaman is not known for its late game card drawing abilities.
No, without Hagatha, it is pretty rubbish at that.
Yeah. Is there any way
with Hagatha, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
You're going to get two things per minion, which is pretty reasonable.
I wonder if you just Alakir through the Tar Creeper, trade Gen into the 1/4 and hit face for 7?
I quite like that. I think there's also probably an argument to just like flood the board because Sulfurous is active.
Yeah.
But that plays pretty poorly into Brawl.
Oh, actually, this is... Oh, I like this better. Keep the Divine Shield on the Alakir.
Yeah.
That's way better. See, this is why I'm casting and not playing.
I mean, none of us spotted that, so... I could see something like Armor Up, Sulfurous, hit Alakir, Frag Shot.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't have mana for Sulfurous, Brawl, and a hero power. But maybe you do throw Sulfurous down, throw the Pirate down, Brawl, and try to just get that Alakir out of the way.
Yeah, speaking of Brawl, I kind of actually really like the decision of Nickolias to not Totem last turn to mean that basically shuts off the option from Brawl.
Oh, looks like we're going.
So pop the Divine Shield.
Yeah, this is how we got into trouble last game was with the.
Yeah.
But Shield Block will help kind of get out of the danger zone a little bit.
Yeah. Certainly helps pad it a bit.
Hex not really. I mean, it helps.
I mean,
it allows it to be killed by the Merc Spark, which is
Hex into Merc Spark, push 6 damage for face.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Maybe check the Primal Fin as well.
I think you have to. I mean, maybe you don't.
I think once
Brawl. I mean, it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Because if you do play
exactly,
then you're putting a whole bunch of 1/1s in play for Brawl. If you don't, then you're increasing the odds that this Alakir is going to get hit.
Yeah, I wonder if at the point in time where you have to deploy the Merc Spark, then you've kind of just gone all in.
Well,
but it does still look like there is a thought process.
Although I mean, to be honest, there's a Warpath here that just clears everything off.
Well, yeah, but I mean that's not something that is going to be. I mean, it's something that Nickolias should be thinking.
But like
about.
with the weapon hit into the Alakir,
even without, I mean, he could spend his whole turn doing it too if he wants to. I mean, it doesn't even. I mean, you want to be pressing that button, but
he's all in. So I quite like this Warpath here.
Oh, with the slam here too.
Slam's pretty disgusting, so it allows you to Rag Shot at the end as well.
Yeah.
Saves you 2 mana.
Yeah, and now you
looks like he's going for it.
Yeah, so now you use the 3 charges of the Warpath, and then you have a free shot at face. That's much better, and you get a card at the end of it too.
Yep. Pretty tasty.
Yeah, that's how you want to do it as the Quest Warrior. This is living your best life.
Well, the discounted hero power.
Okay, well, the Sea Giant helps.
Yeah.
Do you ever, like, brawl?
Roll
then...
here?
Nah, I think you primordial Drake here now.
Yeah, this is way better.
Yeah.
Nice. Hang it in there.
Yeah. And that direwolf is not... That direwolf is just cannon fodder.
I actually think that it was more correct to hold the direwolf there because one of your only outs at this stage is Hagatha. And you just need cards off that.
Yeah,
So I think I would have held it back.
I mean, you've got a couple of turns before you're really in serious danger. I mean, you're facing down 16 here if you don't play it. I mean, I guess you're going to totem, but...
It really isn't just a good position for Nickolias here. If you try to deploy too little minions to the board, then you just lead yourself to getting Die Insect. You try to deploy too many, you leave yourself open to brawl. Like what's the... Hagatha, I think, really, is the only thing that really gets you anywhere.
Hagatha, and there's the concede coming out.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that puts Markshire 2-1 up with just his Token Druid left.
Yeah.
So either the Even Shaman or the Token Druid from Nickolias left. I would say that I probably expect the Token Druid to come out.
I mean, you got to win with both of them, right? It doesn't really matter. I mean, you probably want to try to get yourself a moral victory with whichever one you're going to pick now. But at the end of the day, with Conquest, you're going to have to win with both those decks. So it's kind of flip a coin and go with whatever the
so let's
to go with. And we are going to get to cast a Token Druid mirror.
Yeah, so let's get the mirror out of the way now.
Yeah, so settle in, boys and girls. Because things are about to get weird. So
let's have a look at the differences between decks because there is a fair bit of discrepancy as to the way these decks are built in terms of Nickolias. Looks like we've got the fairly standard one Wrath, 2 Violet Teacher, 1 Ironwood Golem, fairly standard list. I think that's the most common. I know for a fact it is the highest win rate one on HS Replay. Fun facts. Whereas then comparing that to Markshire's list, we've got 2 Wraths from him. What are we dropping in exchange for that? So he drops both Power of the Wilds. And adds an additional Arcane Tyrant.
Okay.
So drops both Power of the Wilds in favor of an additional Wrath and an additional Arcane. So very similar decks.
Yeah. And so so if you have not yet seen this, and it's been really over the last couple of days that it's really started to ramp up, the idea is that you're trying to build up a big board with Whispering Woods, which summons a 1/1 for every card in your hand. Hit that with Soul of the Forest so that if they die, they become 2/2s, and then you hope that board
Savage
lives.
Roar.
And then you have all kinds of disgusting things that you can do if that board survives. Savage Roar, you have Branching Paths for attack. You have Power of the Wild. You have all kinds of things that you can do to your opponent if they let that board live. And usually they can because most decks have trouble clearing 2 wide boards in the same turn unless you're Quest Warrior.
Or Control Warlock. But Control Warlock's not that common.
Godfrey, yeah. So we see not a lot of ramp for either player at the moment.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked with a coin Oaken Summons here.
Yeah, Oaken Summons is good because it gets some of the jank out of your deck, and it improves improves your later draws. Like, you really... I mean, getting the Violet Teacher down naked, maybe not exactly what Nickolias wants, but it also demands an answer for Markshire.
Yeah. And there's not really a good one in his hand.
No, I mean, Swipe doesn't kill it. Spellstone isn't up yet.
The Spellstone's still dropped down. He obviously has the Branching Paths in hand, which he can, double armor to get something out of that Spellstone, but he can't use it this turn. And to be honest, don't really want to be using Branching Paths for armor.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that was 1 armor away from being upgraded.
So yeah.
I mean, that works.
Yep, that's pretty cool.
I feel like you're pretty happy to do that.
Yeah. And that's really, as far as Markshire is concerned, that's like the minimum number of resources you could use to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Nickolias looking at Nourish next turn, looks like he's going to try to go in on the Whispering Woods right now. But the swipe in hand from Markshire is going to answer that, I would imagine.
Yep. Otherwise, there's a Savage Roar that's going to...
Yeah. Otherwise, this game ends very, very quickly.
Yeah, I would say that's probably to be expected. Nourish for either here, I could see, because you've got the UI in hand, ramming to that seems really good. You don't have the Whispering Woods because you've used it, so the additional cards in hand are not, super relevant in the next kind of like couple of turns.
Yeah, and you want to make room in your hand to be able to play that UI without having to worry about burning stuff. And here comes the Violet Teacher out from Markshire, no spells.
And Nickolias with the only one Arcane Tyrant kind of requires there to be space in the hand, whereas Markshire has a little bit more flexibility to kind of go, I'll probably have a minion that I can play for 0.
Yeah.
This is a little bit hard to answer.
Yeah, it looks like
I don't hate Wrathford card draw followed by a swipe here.
Yeah, I don't hate it at all. No, it looks like he's doing it for 3 and then spell spurning.
Okay, that's fair too, yeah. I mean, again, I think with an eye towards getting that UI out, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I think there's also just a good chance that swipe is really relevant in this matchup.
Yeah.
And you just want to hold it.
You don't want to waste a swipe on a Violet Teacher for sure, yeah.
Like, obviously, you've got Spreading Plague, which kind of accomplishes the same thing with better. But, there's just so many different ways that tokens can be generated by this deck. Obviously, the double Violet Teacher, the double Whispering Woods. You really want those answers there.
And that's probably one reason that we saw the early Whispering Woods from Nickolias, is because the one way that you answer this as the opposing token druid is with the Spreading Plague. The turn that he played it was before Spreading Plague would have been available. So if that's the one chance he could get with an early board, the swipe answers it, but the swipe is otherwise he would have 4 potential answers as opposed to 2, so that you take those odds.
Yeah, I agree. I actually quite like in the Thembira, because you do have 2, and you have 2 Violet Teachers. I actually think that there's a lot of merit behind dropping one of them early.
Yeah. And so we see the dueling Malfurions coming out from both players. Yeah. Markshire's still behind on the mana, though, not having found any ramp, but he does have that Oaken Summons he could play at this point if he wants to.
Yeah.
And Nickolias is going to have the ability to to drop to 10 cards, so he only burns 1 card. Seems fairly solid.
Yeah.
Being able to kill the Violet Teacher is also just like a nice added bonus that you've got. I would not be surprised if we saw that. I would probably be fairly surprised if we didn't, seeing the rest of his hands.
And sometimes you burn a card and it's not the end of the world.
And I mean, he still has the Arcane Tyrant in his deck. There's a reasonable possibility that gets drawn. It doesn't, but
he does get the Whispering Woods, which is one of the things that he would absolutely not want to burn. So
especially with that first.
He's got a nice full hand. He's got the Soul of the Forest in hand. He's also Power of the Wild. As well as the Savage Roar, so he can do some pretty disgusting things with that, assuming that his board gets cleared, which looks quite likely.
Yeah, I don't know quite. I mean, you have a board and you could use it. I would imagine that you probably want to do something with this board to clear this off. Maybe a branching path for attack.
Yeah, that's what it looks like it's going to happen. Possibly like only 1 attack and you 1 card, but I think that's unlikely.
Yeah, I think you probably just go in on this board and just make Nickolias answer. I mean, he's got 10 cards in hand. He should have some answers for it, but...
Yeah, Power of the Wild, not a huge loss.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't.
I don't mind like something like trade, Spreading Plague, Death Rattles here. That seems pretty solid.
It looks like we're going to go in for a Teacher turn with a lot of cheap spells in hand. That's not a bad way to go either.
Yeah, that seems fairly solid. You obviously have the swipe. That deals with a fair bit of stuff on board.
You've got a 4
trade in the 5/5 into the 5/6. You can actually clear everything apart from the 4/2, and then you get the 2 Death Rattles out there.
Yeah.
And then you can deal with one of them with the Spellstone. It's really solid. You're dealing with the majority of stuff. You're holding the Death Rattle so that you can use it with a few more minions. Holding that very significant Spreading Plague, because it's such an important card of the matchup. I would say it's fairly likely that we see a Spellstone come down here, but
You could just use the hero power to clear it too if you wanted to.
Yeah, and Power of the Wild also doesn't seem like
awful
that's because
low, but that's kind of low value at this point. Are either of these players having living mana in their lists?
No.
Okay, because I know that's kind of the new tech in the format, to just be able to build one more board on your own.
Yeah,
that seems fairly solid. I can see where you just start slowly running out of options of how you build your board, how you get ahead, and then. Yeah. Now, judging by the way this went a Dream Hack, Fatigue's probably fairly relevant.
Yeah.
And we've got a 4-card advantage in that respect to Markshire.
Yeah, so Markshire's still got half his deck left. Nickolias has 11 cards left. Both also because Markshire has not gotten access to an Ultimate Infestation. Which
and there's probably a good chance that when he does, he will probably access it.
Yeah, I would expect he would feel pretty free to do that when he does. But here... I have no idea what you do here.
I mean, clearing the Violet Teacher is probably step one.
Clearing the Violet Teacher seems like a pretty solid plan. You just play.
And I don't hate just playing the Archetype.
I mean, it's fine. Like
you're ahead on board at this stage. You're ahead on Fatigue. You're ahead on Life. That seems alright.
I mean, a 5 mana 4/4 is a lot better than a 9 mana 7/8. So.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked with a trade with Solar Forest here.
Yeah.
You've got Savage Roar in hand. That's scary on its own. You've got Power of the Wild to pick it up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for him, Markshire doesn't have a training play.
I mean, but you've got to draw that out at some point, right? Like you can't.
Exactly. You can't play around it because it's not going to be played until you have a full board.
Yeah. So, I mean, at some point, he's got to know that card on the left's been there forever. It's gonna have to come out sooner or later.
But then I guess the consideration is if you're Whispering Woods with the Death Rattles, there's no way that you can clear your board to then Spreading Plague back.
Right, that's the problem.
So is there a consideration here that you trade away Whispering Woods and don't Death Rattle?
Apparently not.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this could be a misplay, and I think it could spell the end for Nickolias.
Yeah.
Because we are going to see the comeback of the Spreading Plague, and we have the Savage Roar and the Branching Parts in hand, and that sounds like a lot of damage.
If you're going to do that, I don't think you trade off the 4/3. I think you want one less 1/5 there, too.
Yeah, I agree.
If anything, you trade the 2/1 off. Because that's going to die anyway. But again, this is literally the first time I've been an active participant in a myriad. It took me forever. So I don't know what's correct or not, but that seems like knowing that Spreading Plague is the one thing that you're super worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it looks like that Markshire is going to try to cut down a little bit on that fatigue advantage by wrathing off one of these 1/1s and drawing a card off of it, and does draw into the Nourish.
There's a lot of damage next turn.
Yeah, so you can... The Power of the Wild does give the benefit of pumping your Wisps up to 2 health, which means that they don't die when they start hitting into the Scarabs.
And that is the one difference between those two lists.
Yeah.
And now you have a Branching Paths in hand as well, so you can make that attack permanent.
Yeah.
Then you clear...
You can clear everything. You just put in almost everything. You just put in so much resources.
If you go Power of the Wild and then with the hero power, I believe you can get a full clear. Oh, you need an extra point.
Because that's each one of those is going to clear one, and you're going to have one left that's going to get 2 damage into it. But I think that's fine. And then you're you're forcing Markshire to have an answer to this board in another Spreading Plague right now. Because if he can't answer this board right now, then he
needs to move quick. He's running out of time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be shocked here if he missed an attack or 2.
Oh, that's
it looks like he managed to get it all off.
Well, he didn't pump the minions up to 5 attack though.
Oh no.
He went for 1 armor. Was it? I think he took 1 armor, 1 pump up. Yeah, he took 1 loot the chest.
Yeah.
So how much damage have we got here? We have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
So you have four times. You have.
It's 25 damage.
Yeah, with the hero power. That's still not enough. It's close.
Yeah.
It puts Nickolias on 10.
Yeah. Or we do that.
So we decide that's not enough and going for the U.
Yeah. I mean, it took. He had all last turn to clear off half of this board of taunts, and now you can clear off the front half of these things and leave 2/2s behind.
Yeah, and you're on 38. Like,
yeah,
you're not, and you still are gonna have some taunts left.
Yeah, actually going so far as to clear off one of the 2/2s, I like that a lot. There's another branching paths for Nickolias, so he doesn't really need it to be able to push through these initial.
I wouldn't be surprised with something like a push through than like an Ironwood Golem to like protect your board a little bit.
I think you want to do that, yeah.
You've got a fairly nice board. You've got the branching paths and the Savage Roar and another Savage Roar in your deck. You get a lot of damage out there.
Yeah, I even like using the hero power and the treants to clear off these lower health ones, preserving the 3 ones with the death rattle on board, and then putting.
I'm a big fan
of
that
a lot. That's a pretty heads up play there.
Swipe here is almost certainly going to come down.
I would be shocked if it does not. Yeah.
It does a lot because you can aim it at that 2/2,
especially with the Wrath that just came into hand too. So you can swipe.
That's a full clear. That's a full clear.
Yeah, and then the hero power can take out the 1 treant left. You go face with the 5/5.
Yeah, I think that's a good play. We are now Nickolias is now fairly limited as to how he can actually build a board. Used both Whispering Woods. Used 1 Violet Teacher or 2.
2 Violet Teachers.
Actually.
Yeah.
So now his only way to build a board is in response to Markshire.
Right. So we can do that. We have 1 Spreading Plague in hand.
Markshire is now ahead on fatigue, so he now will need to kind of like take the leading step. He can't just kind of go, you have no way of building a board, I'll just sit back. You've got to actually...
But, this is an interesting... Then following it up with the swipe.
Yeah, you know what, though? This is interesting because this still leaves a bunch of minions on the board to reduce the number of spiders that Nickolias can make.
Well, it only leaves 1.
Yeah,
so you can trade away with the 5/2.
Yeah, now it's 0.
He can trade away with the 5/2, make a bunch of scarabs, and that's quite nice. He can buff them up if he wants, which I think he'd wait until next turn to do.
Yeah, there's no point in doing that if he's not going to attack with them right away, and nothing else is going to be really threatening. He knows that Markshire doesn't play Power of the Wild. These things don't have Death Rattle on them, so the 1 attack from the scarabs will kill them anyway. I don't know how I feel about drawing here though.
Well, what I noticed a lot of I wasn't sure whether this is going to play the excess mana. What I noticed a lot of the pros doing in the matches in Dream Pack is they were wild growthing but leaving excess mana in, so that they could draw a card if they wanted and it didn't cost them anything.
Yeah.
So I thought for a second that might have been what was happening. This seems like quite a good position for Nickolias now, because this was as I said before, this was the only way that he could build a board. There isn't Soul of the Forest in the hand of Markshire. I believe he has 1 in his deck.
Yeah, we're going to take one of those.
I mean, I think Markshire is really kind of playing the chess game with him. Like, he knows that Nickolias is out of Whispering Wood. He managed to get a pretty easy trade-off with getting rid of one of them with just a swipe. So his only really concerns now are Spreading Plague. So if you can just kind of trade 1 for 1 with resources to start clearing off Nickolias' opportunities to build up those big boards, then eventually he's going to be left with something that enables him to do that. And
I mean, he's used his Violet Teacher, both of his Violet Teachers as well.
Yeah.
So he has 1 more Whispering Woods.
Yeah.
Nickolias has 1 more Spreading Plague. This is the thing that Token Druid runs into.
Right.
It's just kind of like there is a point where no one can build a board anymore. and the person who drew less cards wins, and they're even on fatigue at the moment.
That's what. Oh no.
Definitely don't do cards
Yeah,
here.
no, that's not.
That is just.
Yeah.
That seems so bad.
I can't see that being correct.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm feeling fairly sorry for Nickolias there. That seems like
Yeah.
a bit of a mistake. Was that a mouse over UI? If the UI's here, this game has just gone insane.
I mean, from the way that Mark's played this game up until now, I can't see him wanting to do that. But
no, with the Soul of the Forest coming in hand, I wouldn't be overly shocked by Whispering Woods, Soul of the Forest. So like Hero Power.
yeah.
That for me seems really solid. He knows that the only response left is one Spreading Plague, one Swipe.
Yeah.
They're the only things that he's got left in his deck. Obviously, we can tell that Nickolias has both of them. With only 2 cards in his deck, he knows that he'll have at least one of them for next turn.
Yeah.
But I still think that that's good play. In the one world where Spreading Peg is the bottom card on Nickolias' deck, you just win.
Yeah.
Straight away. Like, that's the game. Done.
Yeah. Mark's having a good long think. This is a complicated turn. And
Is he drawing as well?
well, he's free to now, right? Because Nickolias has already done that. So
Yeah.
True, yeah.
So he's free to do that because he doesn't need to be that far ahead in fatigue.
Yes. And they're both now on 1 card.
Yeah.
There's not really much here that Nickolias can do.
You can swipe that before.
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
But he also knows that there's a
God.
Whispering Woods in hand. Now your only response is Spreading Plague.
But yeah.
You can turn that Spreading Plague into a lot of damage. That is
Yeah.
true.
I mean, maybe you hero powered expecting that you're gonna have to use that swipe the next turn and just take 8 damage, but that feels bad too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But this has to be Whispering Woods, right?
It has to be. I don't. Or maybe, you know what? Why? Right?
Yeah.
Why
Yeah,
give
true.
Him, why give him an opportunity to build a board? You already know. You've seen all his threats. You have more armor gain. You know, start sending him into fatigue.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with that is that he has less armor gain,
Right.
and he's further.
Yeah. So
Is he further into?
yeah. So
He
Markshire
is
is
further into fatigue because of
Fatigue
that
now.
nourish play.
Yeah, I don't
And,
know what the knowledge play was.
and he's used both his branching parts, whereas
Yeah.
Nickolias has 1 more.
And-
So he just has more armor gain.
So now, if Nickolias is doing his math right, I would be looking.
He
at
knows
these
that
two
he doesn't have to do anything.
Well, no, I would be looking at these 2 Savage Roars in his hand as a way to just end the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah. But like he knows that he doesn't have to do anything apart from
Right.
perhaps branching parts for armor, perhaps Savage Roar just finish the game on the spot. Apart from that, he can just hero power and do these turns. I think Markshire is realizing that he can't win without actually doing something here. So
He's gonna do that, and that's gonna allow the other Spreading Plague to
got to
come
be the
down.
death rattle here, right? Oh no, because he knows he doesn't have swipes, so he doesn't need to do Soul of the
Right.
Forest.
Yeah.
As expected, here comes down Spreading Plague. This is a super heads up play by Mark, because what he's able to do here by doing this is he's able to now trade away all of the 1/1s and then create his own board of scarabs.
Yeah. Which he
Okay.
then Soul of the Forest.
And then he Soul of the Forest, and now
Yeah.
we're both in fatigue, and they both have a board full of taunts with death rattles.
These mirrors are ridiculous.
Very heads up play by Markshire there, though, who know that he didn't want a death rattle.
I mean that shows how much he's probably been watching a lot of DreamHack and studying this matchup a lot, because you've seen this a lot at DreamHack this weekend. And
Yeah.
I would imagine he's been watching a lot of the pros play this and seeing how the pros handle this matchup.
Even then,
Even
he's
then, this is
still behind
really
on life
super
and
hard.
still behind on fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He kind of
Nickolias
wants
has
to-
branching parts.
Yeah. Like if
He's losing at this rate. Even with this trade, Soul of the Forest play, he's still losing.
Right, because all Nickolias has to do right now is
It's just armor up pass.
I mean, he could even
Branching paths for armor.
even more than that. If he does Spreading Plague into this, he can just go double Savage Roar, clear those off, and leave the 2/2s behind.
Yeah, because I feel like
or Branching Path Savage Roar, and then those kill the 2/2s.
There's a chance that Markshire feels like he had to armor up there instead of Solar Forest.
Yeah.
Because he's just losing as is.
Yeah.
No, I think you're exactly right, Wicked. This is the play. So your minions charge up.
Yep.
You Savage Roar. You clear. All of your minions still survive to be able to clear the tree ants that come out. You're ahead in fatigue. Yeah. That's the game.
I have.
Jeez.
I am gonna sleep so well tonight.
We still have one more game to go.
Do
Yeah. It's 2-2. So
oh my goodness.
Token Druid versus Even Shaman.
Oh, I need a nap.
That's like Dead Man's Head.
Oh
But like not quite as long.
This is not an activity for 10:45 in the evening Eastern Daylight Time. Like, you guys are over there in Australia. It's the middle of the day. You're probably getting
we're gonna go get some lunch after this.
Great. Like, I'm here. I've been up since 7 o'clock in the morning. I haven't had any coffee today. This is not what I signed up for. So we're gonna have a little bit more straightforward matchup in this Even Shaman versus the Token Druid.
Yeah, it's not going to be quite as bananas.
Yeah.
I do think though that the Token Druid is favored here, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what better people than me think, i.e. Vicious Syndicate, but let's have a look, because they are much smarter than me and have a lot more stats than me.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine that if the Even Shaman can get off to a banana start, then it can win this. But
Druid, Token Druid, Even Shaman. That's the matchup there. Oh, no.
Yeah, I think you're right, Wicked. I think if Even Shaman gets off
a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's 60% to Token Druid.
Yeah,
60,
that
40.
sounds about right, because you pretty much need to have the Murloc Paladin start for the Even Shaman in order to win this.
And unfortunately,
that's
for Nickolias, he just doesn't. Yeah. He's got a really heavy hand.
Well, this can turn not heavy in a real quickly with this Primal Fin Totem and the Sea Giant. That can get off to a quick start if he so chooses.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that I like the Knife Juggler here. I might have liked to see the Primal Fin come down first.
I agree, because I feel like you can almost always get like this doesn't get a ping. Next turn you can definitely get a ping off the Knife Juggler.
Yeah. Do you care about ping though, or do you care more about trying to keep those bodies in play for the Sea Giant? This way, at least you draw out the Wrath on the Knife Juggler.
I
True.
guess. Yeah.
That's pretty heads up.
Yeah, but it's not even going to draw out a Wrath. It's going to draw out a Spellstone.
Yeah. But there is a world where that draws out. Because it's not guaranteed that he has the Spellstone.
The Primal Fin would have died just the same, but I mean, at least then you're getting the 1 damage in with the Knife Juggler the next turn.
Yeah. So this way
you
at least
have
you
the
go
1/1 on
Primal
board.
Fin. Make a totem.
Yeah.
That taunt would have been relevant if it was the Spellstone which came out, but the Wrath is going to deal with it quite nicely.
This is a difficult decision for Markshire, because is getting rid of the Primal Fin more valuable than ramping?
I would say generally you probably think not. The thing which probably changes that calculus is the Sea Giant.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because allowing 1 more minion to come out of there puts him 1 tick closer. Obviously there's no way for him to generate a minion with 0 mana, because he's not running
he's gonna ramp.
the amnesiac tech
you could do both.
Wisps.
Yeah. So
I don't think you want to use the coin there, though. I think you want to save the coin for Violet Teachers.
Yeah, and that also helps with the Whispering Woods too.
Yeah, because it means the next turn. Yeah, absolutely. But it does mean the next turn he's going to go Violet Teach and have the capacity to go Violet Teacher, coin Wrath.
Right.
Get 2 1/1s, start clearing off the board. Like,
yeah, I think the
pretty solid.
Scalehide has to come down, and you need a totem, and you need to get that Sea Giant down.
yeah.
I agree. I think you've just got to get as close to that Sea Giant coming down as you possibly can. Obviously, we can see that this is almost guaranteed to come down unless the swipe comes down. I doubt that he will swipe this board.
I would be surprised. I mean, he'd have to. I mean, maybe if he's thinking Sea Giant, he might.
Yeah.
But I just think that Violet Teacher, coin, Wrath seems way better. It really plays into the Sea Giant because obviously it's discounted by minions on both sides of the board,
right?
Not just your own. But there just comes a point where you just can't really play around it.
Yeah. I mean, the even shaman is just going to throw minions on the board. It's going to happen. Your deck is designed to spam a bunch of minions onto the board. A Sea Giant is just kind of the cost of doing business, unfortunately. But he is going to swipe this board.
Yeah, it does somewhat surprise me. If he's playing around Sea Giant, if that's on his mind, that's a very easy way of ensuring that it's not going to cause him any issues.
I mean, what's the one way you lose this matchup as the Token Druid? An 8/8 hitting you in the face 3 times. That's
that sounds pretty bad.
Because you don't have any way. This isn't even like Taunt Druid where you can use a Naturalize, but it feels bad. You don't even have that. You have no way to deal with an 8/8. Other than running a bunch of minions into it, and your minions are not ready to do that yet.
Yeah.
So now there's a decision between do we Fire Elemental or do we Sea Giants?
Almost certainly Sea Giant, I think. You know, an 8/8's better than a 6/5.
Yeah, and then you get the opportunity to go Fire Elemental into Calamos. I mean, not that you can't do that anyway, but...
Yeah. It also probably gives you, like, there's that Ironwood Golem can't attack. So you know that you'll be able to Fire Ellie into it next turn anyway, and then you get essentially the charging 8/8 through.
Yeah.
Wreaking some havoc.
Yeah, look, I like the no totem here now that the Sea Giant's down, playing around the Spreading Plague.
Yeah, love it.
And...
I think there's a possibility that it's... because Oaken Summons will get a Violet Teacher.
So you can go Violet Teacher, Oaken Summons, and then potentially just use the coin to make 2 more 1/1s. That also enables the Ironwood Golem to
attack and hit that, which is nice.
Yeah, and I think you obviously save the coin for UI element for long turn.
And this Fire Elemental has no time to wait.
Yes, it's coming down pretty quick there. Really nice.
It's still no Spreading Plague in hand for Markshire, and...
Oh man, the roll on the Taunt Totem as well means you can't even trade the Violet Teacher to clear the Sea Giant.
Yeah.
Coin UI.
Yeah, it goes at the Fire Element.
Very expected.
Yeah. But this Calamos is also... You have Calamos, you have Fire Elemental Earth and Might, you have Lich King. I wouldn't imagine Lich King, because I think you want to keep that Elemental train rolling. But...
Yes.
You have a lot of things you can do here.
I wouldn't be shocked by a Calamos. It's not perfect, but it does a lot. If you do 3 damage, then you can get rid of the Violet Teacher and the 4/4, or not worry about the Violet Teacher and just hit face with the 8/8.
Yeah,
8/6.
And the Calamos is always going to be like your most awkward card in the deck, and if you have an opportunity to use it cleanly, you may as well use it. Looks like is he thinking about trading off the Violet Teacher there?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I think that Violet Teacher's just really scary in this deck. There's a lot of ways to make a lot of stuff and then make him real scary.
Yeah. You've got a 7/7 and an 8/4. The 8/4 is going to die too. But
and you've got a Fire Elemental that you can pop next turn. You've got a Lich King. You've got Earthen Might to get a pseudo draw essentially.
Yeah. Oh, this Wrath swipe though. Wow. This is
it's pretty tasty.
Yeah.
I mean, it does mean though that Markshire spends his turn clearing up the board, managing to keep the The ghoul in play, though, means that the follow-up play of the Lich King wasn't as attractive as it could have been.
I'd say we almost certainly see fire. Probably with an Earthen Might. I rate the Earthen Might here. As we noted before, there's no single target removal in that Druid deck. Especially now we've seen both Wraths go, we've seen a Swipe go, we've seen a Spellstone go. I think just making a big boy here, and then a Totem, get that draw. I like it.
I think you get this value off this Earthen Might while you can, too.
Oh boy, that's value. I've never seen it.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Suddenly turning into a control mage match.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't hate that from Markshire either, because you know that the Even Shaman at the end of the day has a limited number of top end threats, and top end threats are really all you're worried about right now.
I agree. I like Whispering Woods here.
Yeah.
The only response to it that actually probably clears everything is Hagatha.
Yeah. He's burned the Calamos now, so that's one of his two clears gone.
Yeah.
He's gone for armor here?
No, it looks like he's going to draw some more. Oh, no.
I can't even see the Discover right now, so... Yeah, double armor.
It's just going to... Yeah,
I mean, that's one way to get ahead.
I mean, at the end of the day, right? Like, I mean, this Lich King is kind of like the last gasp between the Lich King and the Fire Elemental.
Yeah.
I mean, the Pyros will give him a little bit extra, gas in the tank, but at the end of the day, like, the Even Shaman's running out of time, and I think that if you're extending that clock, I don't hate that at all.
Oh, Anti-Magic Shell is a little bit scary. Savage Roar of his own drawn, and one that makes it into a fairly terrifying board. We did notice before, though, that there is limited single target removal, so that protecting from spells is perhaps not quite as relevant as it would be in other matchups. But, still very significant. No Spreading Plague in hand. Again, this is a scary board, but
this is
going to be
not going to go good for Markshire.
Yeah. Because he can drop this Pyros and the Direwolf. I mean, he can even drop...
He can drop everything.
Well, he doesn't... Yeah, no, he can drop everything. Oh, the Corpse Taker.
Everything apart from the Corpse Taker.
Maybe you do drop the Corpse Taker. I mean, if you're getting +2/+2, and it's got life steal. Does it have life steal still?
It has.
I'm pretty sure we've already used one of the. I don't think it has it.
But if it's gonna have Wind Fury,
it's got Taunt. It's got Divine Fury.
Like, I think you drop that. I think that's okay. And then,
you
don't need the Direwolf right now. You drop that in the Pyros. You Anti-Magic Shell, and you say, "Come at me, bro."
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's stealing a good. I mean, he wants to do it. He's just making sure maybe he's trying to talk himself out of it and trying to find a reason not to do it.
I think you've got to do it. I
think you got it. Yeah.
I think it's worth, and I think that it's worth leaving that one spot on the board to be able to drop the Direwolf or maybe a Flame Tongue, which we haven't seen yet. I know it looks like he is going to drop that Direwolf, the other Direwolf down. I don't know how I like that placement. I mean, you're getting the extra damage in now.
I'm surprised he's trading.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised he's trading. I mean, it is reducing a tick on that Savage
Okay,
Roar.
Well, the big boys are going face. So
Death and Decay.
Wow.
Is tasty.
Yeah, and then I don't mind hit with the little guys, send the 2 11 powers at the face.
Yeah.
Like, you've got to clear. And you've got to get through effectively 3 taunts to be able to do it.
Yeah, and you it's a 1-turn clock either way. So if it's a 1-turn clock either way, you may as well take out 2 of the little guys in the process. I like that a lot, actually. Now that I think about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And there is.
Man, is Nickolias going to steal this away? This is getting.
So we're gonna get max power on the board right now, but this max power is going into a bunch of minions and not going into face.
Yeah. And with not a lot of tools from Markshire to be able to follow it up with the Treants to try to push through the power on the next turn.
Yeah, and then this Death and Decay is going to answer the rest of this board.
Yeah.
And having to use having to use face to clear off that Divine Shield. So now we're down to 13.
I think.
And with that Death and Decay...
And that Death and Decay is dealing 4.
Right.
Because it fully clears the board. Yeah.
So 7 and 4 is 11. He's 3 off lethal right now.
Yeah, it's not quite at lethal yet, but
I mean, you're definitely paying. Getting rid of that board is just a good thing to do.
I mean, you Death and Decay, you throw down a Pyros and a Chain Gang, and you go face with the 2 minions, and you dare him to find a way to deal with it. And I don't know, without pre-nerf Force of Nature, how you're doing that. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's going to have to be Spreading Plague off the top or bust.
It is. That's it. And even then, well, we've seen both fire elementals, right?
Yeah.
You could get something like an Alakir to punch through. Because Alakir and the Scale Hide would be lethal. Maybe not. No, maybe one. Oh, we're getting going through
All right, we're back.
Did you guys get into like a washing machine or something over there?
Just for a moment. Sorry.
By the way, we can't see your faces now because of the window in the background, but from the glare.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. We'll just be angels casting this game from on high.
Okay, so this is at least not dead on board with the armor now. Oh, and the Merc
No, but the Merc Spark makes it lethal.
Wow.
That's gonna be Nickolias is gonna steal the game and the series.
Holy cow!
Yeah. That was incredible.
Wow. That's why you
Wow,
play
what
the
a
games.
run! Yeah, that is why you play out the games indeed.
Wow.
That was wild.
That's not how I expected that game to go.
No.
At all.
What a finals, like absolute like
The
2-0 lead by Markshire into the comeback by Nickolias.
Yeah. I mean, that token mirror into that game. I mean, that shows why those two players made the finals, clearly. Because, I mean, that was... I mean, even with some of the missteps in the Token Druid mirror, with some of those plays in that last game, and it was really just no Spreading Plague for Markshire. If he found either of those Spreading Plagues at any point in that game, that probably would have...
They would have totally changed it.
I mean, the
that's what it comes down to. It like, you know, if you're so reliant on that, then sometimes you just don't draw it, and that's the way the game goes. But I mean, huge congratulations to Nickolias. I know that he was significantly involved in last year's Listener League, so good to see him back in it and running, and obviously doing very well. I mean, big props to both players to be able to play those matchups so well. It is crazy.
We want to try to get Nickolias into the call and talk to
let's
for a couple minutes.
Let's give it a try.
Okay. I mean, we're kind of like I'm used to running this stuff from UHL, but you know, we're kind of once we start introducing an ocean in the middle, it gets a little bit more dicey.
Yes. All right, cool. Nickolias can jump into a call,
okay,
so I'm just going to...
You're the one running the call, so if you can bring him into that, then I think we will be good.
Yeah, let me see how to do that. Add friends, Nickolias.
So just bear with us for a moment here, because we're trying to navigate technical waters, but this was I'm glad, and mid game, thank you for inviting me on for this, because this was
that was
a hell of a match, and I'm really happy to have been part of it.
Yeah, that was. I mean, we were certainly dreading that Druid mirror, but the moment that kind of went like that, that was just excellent. All right, here we go. Should be able to add him now. Just.
Oh.
Hey, Nickolias, you in the call? Oh.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. Well done on winning the first Listener League for 2018.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was a hell of a ride, let me tell you.
Oh my god.
Has your heart started beating again, or?
It hasn't stopped. That's the problem.
Yeah, that was certainly a series very fitting of the very very fitting of the finals because it was
Yeah.
just excellent. Great play by you. How are you feeling going into that final match? Obviously knowing
I looked at his lineup and I saw the control priest and the top warrior. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to get wins with the token druid and the even shaman.
Yeah.
But he never queued, like, I think if he queued the token druid before the taunt warrior, I would have had no chance because I had to get the win with Katharina Hunter on the taunt warrior, and then like I just got pretty fortunate. Like the mirror match is pretty close, and then the Lich King was pretty clutch against with the even shaman, but I don't think I win that series if he queues up the token druid like game 1 or something.
Yeah. Yeah, getting that win into I mean the Katharina Hunter, I mean I didn't really play a lot of the Katharina Hunter when I took it to Legend last month, but from having even just a couple times that I played against it's miserable as the Katharina Hunter because you just have no way. Especially with your build. I mean, the build that I've been running at least runs explosive traps to give you like half a chance, but there's no way for you to deal with a wide board for anything like that or odd paladin or anything like that with the Katharina Hunter other than just hitting in the face quickly.
It's actually like, I mean, the Vicious Syndicate stats say otherwise, but I've had a pretty good experience with it against Odd Paladin. But yeah, it is meant to target like the taunt warriors and those kinds of decks. And I got pretty unlucky against the control priest, but I mean, I kind of made up for it against the taunt warrior and then against the even shaman versus token druid. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, both spreading plagues in the bottom of the deck. I mean, not that, that was what you needed to be able to make those plays. Because I was playing around. I was playing around it so hard by like not doing minions and stuff. But like, if he drew it still would have been pretty bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how much of DreamHack were you watching this weekend of the token druid mirror? Because like I haven't even played the deck before, and it looked to me like the chess from Star Trek when you're trying to play that match, and I just don't even know how you prepare for that without having just been through it a lot.
I'm gonna be honest. 1, I haven't watched any of the DreamHack pretty much, and 2, I very rarely play this deck on ladder. I'm not very experienced with it. Like I've only done 1 mirror match, and that was again in this tournament in this week. I think it was this week. I think it was a few days ago. I had the mirror and I won that one as well. But like that was pretty much my only experience against this matchup.
Yeah, it's clear that your instincts of the deck are pretty on point because I've watched a fair bit of the DreamHack mirrors for token druid because I've been playing a lot of it on ladder as well. And some of the plays you're making were the same ones that pro players are making. So clearly your instincts are pretty on point. That's good.
Good thing because it's very tough. I knew at a certain point, I don't remember which turn it was, but I knew at a certain point that I had the game won because he had the Whispering Woods and the Spreading Plague and the Soul of the Forest. And I had more health and he was going further into fatigue than I was. And I knew that the instant he played the Whispering Woods, he was going to lose. And if he didn't play the Whispering Woods, he was also going to lose.
Yeah. Just got you into a really good spot.
Yeah, it was.
And it's
we were talking about it after the game. He said he misplayed by playing the Nourish, but he really needed to get that second Spreading Plague. And I'm like, I had the same when I Nourished. I really need that Soul of the Forest. So
yeah, that was what we noticed with that draw. That it seemed safe enough at the time because it felt like he was just bringing himself back even, but it was really going to be the fatigue damage that was going to get him, that was going to lose him the game at the end of the day. But also, if he didn't draw that other copy, then he was also going to be dead. So it's kind of a catch-22.
Well, I don't think his Spreading Plague was as important. Mine was like me getting the Soul of the Forest. I needed that, so if he ever did play the Whispering Woods, I could play that and Soul of the Forest my Beatles. I don't think his Spreading Plague was as important as my Soul of the Forest was. And I still had the branching pass, so if it did come down, I could gain an extra 12 armor.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
the nature of
was
that.
pretty close.
The nature of that matchup with the competing boards is so interesting because spreading plague means that you want to be the player to develop the board second, but obviously the nature of having minions have to be on board a turn before they attack and trying to charge them up with things like branching paths and savage roar means that you kind of want to go first. So there's two very conflicting things at play there that you got to try to balance out, and you did a really good job to manage to figure out a way through that 4-dimensional chess.
Well, yeah, thank you.
But yeah, at the end of the day, well done on winning the Listener League. I'm not 100% sure on exactly what the prizes are. I know one of them is that the opportunity to come on the show, which is going to obviously be cool, and I'll put you in contact with everyone to organise that. But a huge congratulations to everyone who made the finals, who competed in the semis, obviously to Markshire and ASDF, who were our runner-ups in both EU and NA, and then obviously to our 2 champions, which are Nickolias and Robobson. So well done, everyone. Well done on winning NA, Nickolias, and hope to see you next time around.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. That was extremely well played, and it was an honor to be able to come on and cast it. So.
Thank you. I need to go back and rewatch those games now.
Yeah, go have a drink first, maybe.
Yeah, I need a beer. Oh my god.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you everyone for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much, Wicked Good and Rather Salad, for coming and casting. Had a lot of fun. Hope you guys did too.
Yeah, this is great.
Have a great night.
Excellent.